Hello, this is Ingrid Hartig, and I am going to give you some ideas to introduce lesson 2-20. Of course, this is in layer 2, and the lesson that we're going to be teaching is the spelling of DGE. Now, the way that DGE works, when you hear J, that's the J sound. When you hear J, immediately after a short vowel, like in the word fudge or in the word badge, then you need to spell it DGE. So this is not only going to be a rule for reading, because we want students to apply the J sound when they see it in their text, but we also want them to spell it DGE when they hear J immediately after a short vowel. Our keyword for DGE is going to be judge. Now remember, whenever we introduce one card and we have a new sound, we need a keyword. And the keyword, my sticker here, is judge. One of the things I really like to do when I'm teaching DGE is to talk about a judge, to talk about what a judge does. I could show them pictures of a judge. I could read some court cases. I mean, I could expand on the whole lesson of a judge as much as I wanted to. I want students to then become a judge. And what they're going to do is get out their gavel, there's their gavel, and they're going to decide whether a word is guilty or a word is not guilty. In other words, they're going to be the judge. I will go ahead and say some words. If the word ends in J, then the word is guilty. If the word does not end in J, like for example, if I said catch, the student should say not guilty. I will say, I don't know, 10 to 12 words. I'll have the students decide, is the word guilty of having DGE, J? In other words, do I hear J immediately after a short vowel? Or is the word not guilty because it either doesn't follow the short vowel or it's not even the J sound at the end? When I'm working with older students for the multisensory activity, instead of having them say guilty and not guilty, which I guarantee the older students will enjoy, sometimes I like to go online and I like to share fun facts. Now this is a multisensory activity that you can do instead of pounding and deciding whether it's guilty or not guilty. So once I show the card and explain how DGE works, once I tell them that our keyword is judge, I could share a fun fact. Like for example, did you know that the youngest Supreme Court appointee was Joseph Story, and he was only 32? And that the oldest sitting justice was Oliver Wendell Holmes, who served until he was 90 years old. Your multisensory activity is finished, and you would have your students write DGE J 3 times, either on the whiteboards for whole group instruction, or you could have them write them preferably in the sand trays for small group instruction. Now, please remember that after this lesson is finished, in other words, after I do dictation, which is the next step, after I have them read the clean copy, they write sentences, they read the clean copy for sentences, I'm going to add this card to my card pack. From this point on, students will have 2 ways to write J. And when I say write 2 ways for J, students will write J, J, and DGE, J. And they will do that all the way up until the first lesson in layer 4 has been taught. So don't forget to not only add this to your card pack, that's pretty easy to remember, but you have to remember to highlight that phoneme grapheme chart as well.